sports not named after a city, state, or region. And if that wasn't bad enough, Steph Curry will miss at least 2 weeks with a sprained right ankle. Happened Monday night against the Pelicans. MRI results revealed no structural damage. Nick, are the Warriors still the best team in the NBA without Steph?
No. That would, to me, it is very difficult to say any team would be the best team in the league, no matter how good they are, if you lose one of the, at worst, 4 best players in the league, and some people would say the second best player in the league, in Steph Curry.
Is there one of those 4 players that we could insert in this question and that we would feel more comfortable as them still being the best team?
I mean, the other guys, Durant, like, would the Warriors still be the best team in the league without Durant? I don't think so. I think it would.
I was even going down to Clay, because I think people take Clay for granted.
Oh, so you meant 4 best players on the Warriors. I meant guys that are in the 4 best league-wide. Would the Warriors still be the best team in the league without Clay?
Even Draymond?
Probably. I'm not certain of it.
Yeah, I don't think any of the 4 players, and I think that we just can't get away from forgetting how special Steph is. So I think all 4 of those Warriors players, which makes them a very special team, any of them missing from that doesn't make them as special, especially when you talk about matching up with a team like Houston, San Antonio. They need that overall scoring power. So that's what I was trying to.
Absolutely. No, listen, the Warriors have the most talent of any team in the league, but if you remove any of those top 4, most notably, I would say this guy. For a long time, I've been saying Draymond Green is the most important player on the Warriors. I no longer believe that to be true for 2 reasons. One, the addition of Kevin Durant has given them someone else who can protect the rim other than Draymond when they go small. I know when KD's out there, it doesn't seem like they're small, but KD's been outstanding.
And that part we didn't see coming.
Right. I didn't think KD was going to be that level of defender. And the other one is, this team feels more like a regular NBA team without Steph than they do if Draymond's missing or KD's missing, because of the pressure he puts on the defense even when he doesn't have the basketball.
Yes.
But, Cece, here's why I am, and listen, I don't wish injury on anyone, so I want to make sure the internet and everyone gets this right. I'm not happy Steph Curry was hurt. I'm excited for what this could mean, though, for Kevin Durant. Let's be honest, Kevin Durant's in a tough place. He averaged 35, 8, and 7 in the finals last year, and nobody cares. He was finals MVP, and nobody cares. His approval rating right now as an NBA player is lowest than it's ever been. He said, Steph's the leader. I don't need to be the leader of this team. Well, now you do. For these couple weeks, 3 weeks, we'll see how long, now you do. And while I like to poke fun at KD, the league is better when all of its best players are in their best mental place. And if KD can carry the Warriors with Steph out, we might see KD come out the other side of this in a better mental state than we've seen him his entire time with Golden State. So that's what I'm looking for while Steph is gone.
Yeah, I think they're going to miss Steph. I think Steph's ability to, you said, pressure the defense and stretch the defense. For one reason, you can't help off of Steph anywhere over midcourt. But his ability to get to the rim, even if he's not going to finish, we don't consider him to be a great finisher, but he has such a stretch from 30 feet to the rim. So once he goes to the rim, it opens up everything for everyone else. So I think that he's the most valuable, and he is the most stable of all the Golden State players.
Yep.
Like, if you look at who mentally, physically, who's the most stable, it's Steph Curry. And we tend to forget just really how special of a player, like, he really is. Like, Steph puts on a show. Like, before the game, during the game. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for Steph, and there's no way that I think they're the best team, because Steph is a once every 50, 40-year type player. We can't say that he's that good and then, oh, they're still the best team in the league.
I love what you said, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Durant is in a weird place right now. He's not really sure who he is and what role he plays and how he's perceived, and he's had this, like, very weird stretch of the last, like, 6 months where he's having the seemingly odd identity crisis, if you will. And I think that if you're going to point to something that could actually benefit him, it's to be the guy for a little bit. Maybe to go out there and assume the role, and an actual role, which would be team leader. Because I don't know if he necessarily has that role when he's playing with Steph out there. And I don't, obviously, like you said, you never want to see a player get hurt. But if there's an opportunity for the perception of who Kevin Durant is to change a little bit, maybe it's, okay, enough with the off-the-court weirdness.
Yes.
Let me go out and just play some basketball now, which is the thing I love to do and the thing I know how to do. My question to both of you is, does it matter if there's some, I was going to say, what would you like to see the drop-off be without Steph in the lineup, if there is one at all, or is it too early and that doesn't even really matter? Because we're looking at maybe Christmas for him to come back, and even then against the Cavaliers might not even be
right. You go through different phases in seasons like the NBA. So this is a phase that they're going to go through. They're going to try to build on. They realize that they have some younger players on their bench. They're going to have to change their rotation, but it's beginning and end of the day, it's about those other three players. If Draymond, Klay, and KD play at the top of their game, they're still one of the best teams in the NBA. But this does create a certain type of chemistry that it gives you kind of that DNA that that you can tap into later in the season if you get someone, Nick. Because when we get to the playoffs, the style of play is so much more physical. And we see so many players in that 2-month span that get nicked. So I think this will help them and the team, because this is still just their second season together.
With KD. And since the Warriors became the Warriors, so 3 1/4 seasons ago, regular and postseason, they win 83% of their games that Steph plays. They win 56% of their games that he doesn't. He's missed 16. Now, KD was only been there for this last year and this. So, so KD wasn't there for a lot of it. The Warriors, listen, no one's going to feel badly for the Warriors. Even when Steph is not out there, in every game they play, unless they're playing the Cavs, they will have the best player on the court in Kevin Durant. And in every game they play, unless they're playing one of 6 other teams, they will have the best 2 players on the court in Durant and Klay. So they will still have more talent than the vast majority of teams in the league, even with Steph out of the lineup. You mentioned that Durant doesn't have to be the leader. Durant publicly said, I'm not the leader.
And that right there says something in itself. Now, it's very rare do you have that type of greatness that God doesn't put the leadership with that talent. It's just, they just don't come together. And it kind of takes me back to, in a different vein when Charles Barkley says, I'm not a role model.
That's exactly what I was
really?
I remember. Yeah.
Well, man, I'm one of the greatest players in the world. Now, how could he take the torch from LeBron with that shot and still in the same breath say, I'm not a leader? Wow, to me, that's a contradiction in itself.
But would he be a leader on another team?
Well, he did. It seemed
he wasn't a leader on OKC
because Russell Westbrook was there. But if he was the guy on a team the way Westbrook was,
well, the thing is this: he was better than Russ. He won an MVP in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
But Russ was still the emotional leader of that team, and Russ took all the criticism of that team. I poke fun at KD. I have fun with him on Twitter about his fake Twitters. I'm not very nice to him on TV, but at my core, I am a basketball fan. And so even though I have fun with KD, basketball is better with all these guys operating at maximum capacity. And there's something going on in KD's head that it hasn't really affected his play, but it's affected everything else around him. I would like to see if Steph being out can maybe knock him out of that out of necessity.
Well, the one thing we will look for, and we'll talk about this more, is whether health is the only thing that's actually going to derail this team. Because if it's not, they, top to bottom, are such a great team right now. Coming up, is John Elway ruining the Broncos?
Oh!
Ruining
them.
Broncos.
Have one of his teammates come out here, ether him. What was that?